So today I'm going to show you how you can cut a hole big enough in an index card so you can step in it using just a pair of scissors. Sounds hard, doesn't it? So here's what I want you to do. I just want you to ponder, look at your index card, stare at it a little bit, think about how am I going to cut a hole through this to where I can step through it. I don't know about you, but I'm 5'6", and I don't think I'm too short, but I'm also not that tall. But this is a small index card, so how are we going to do it? I'll give you a second. Now, while you were pondering at your index card, did you maybe write down something like, that's impossible, I can't, or I give up? Those are all negative thoughts that we don't want to have in our minds while we're trying to do a really hard task. So, lucky for you, whenever you don't know how to do something, you can always ask your teacher. Or if another one of your peers knows how to do it and you don't, you can always ask them too. So, it is your lucky day, my friends, because today I am going to teach you how you can take a normal index card and some scissors and cut a hole big enough for you to step into. So we want to start with just our index card. No scissors right now. Let's take our index card. We're going to fold it in half, hot dog style, or long ways, whichever way you want to call it. So make a nice crease along the edge here. Just like that, fold it in half, beautiful. Just like that. Now, along the closed edge of the crease, not the open side, the closed edge, now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut about 1/2 centimeter off. We want to make sure all of the lines that we're cutting today are very thin. We're going to take our scissors, we're going to cut a line just about until the edge of the paper. Do not cut all the way through. You see how mine's just about there, but not quite. Now, I'm going to repeat that to the other side, about 1/2 centimeter off, maybe 1 centimeter off. Almost all the way through, but not there yet. Be very gentle. Perfect. Now, open up your index card. You should have something that looks a little bit like this. Kind of like 2 little strands that are hanging off the edge. Now, we have our crease in the middle that we just made whenever we folded our index card. We're going to take our scissors, and on the inside of the strips that we just cut, we're going to cut the crease, cut along the crease, all the way until the end, but be sure not to cut the strips that we just made. Those are important. Those are going to be like our baseline. So we're going to cut all the way until the end, being very careful to not cut the strip. Perfect. Now you should have something that looks kind of like a door, like French doors. We're going to fold it back in half to where it looks like our original fold, just like this. Now, since we cut along the closed crease side to begin with, I'm going to flip my index card like this, so where the open side is sitting towards me. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut along the edge the same way I cut here. So I'm going to cut a very small strip just about until I get to the edge of this crease, but not all the way. You want to make sure your cuts are long and skinny. Flipping it towards me, repeating all the way until I get to this end. So skinny, almost all the way, but not quite. Be very careful. Flip it towards me. Long and skinny, almost all the way, not quite. Flip, and repeat that all the way until you get to the other end. now that I'm very close to the end, I want to make sure that my last cut is on this crease. So my next cut is also going to be my last cut because I want this one to be the alternate one. So I'm going to basically cut this one in half, just like that, because then my last cut would be the one that we cut before. Remember, I said that was like our baseline. So now that we finished cutting our kind of accordion style index card, we want to very gently open it up like we originally did along the crease. Very gently, because we cut really close to the edges, we want to make sure that we don't rip any sides of them. So we're opening it up very gently so we have our index card like this, and then we can start to fan it out a little bit bigger. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. We just opened up our index card and we have this really big necklace type of thing, and now you can step through it and bring it all the way up around you, just like that. Now, what would you do if I told you that the main idea of this lesson wasn't to teach you how to cut a hole through an index card big enough for you to step in? Well, it wasn't. The main idea of this lesson was to teach you and your students that we can do hard things. Whenever we get approached with a task that we think is impossible, we want to make sure that our students feel comfortable enough to ask us questions on tasks that they don't know how to do. And if any of their peers know how to do it, they can ask them too. This can be a great icebreaker in the beginning of the year to get your students comfortable with asking you questions and their peers questions. Now, I can't wait to see all of your index cards, and happy learning! This is my executive producer. Her name is Roxy. She's doing a great job at producing loud breathing sounds.